Coming up on Mountain News at 6, new details about a case where a federal fugitive is arrested in southern Kentucky. And some students in Hazard are doing what they can to help folks impacted by last month's flooding.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
A federal fugitive wanted for meth trafficking is now in custody after a raid in Whitley County. But as WYMT's Caroline Mueller reports, authorities say they also uncovered a disturbing case of child abuse during the arrest.
Corbin police say their drug investigation led them to Christopher Jones. When they discovered he had a federal arrest warrant, they called in the U.S. Marshals for help. The Marshals, ATF, and several local law enforcement agencies executed a search warrant at the home on Delmar Sargent Road, where Jones tried to hide.
He initially had fled through a crawl space in a closet down into underneath the floor. He came out peacefully, surrendered to us, and we took him into custody.
But inside the home, officers found much more. 7 ounces of meth, illegal firearms, and 3 children living in filth. Their mother, Michaela Sullivan, was arrested for criminal abuse.
The home was found to be in deplorable living conditions. There was just trash, molded food. There was little to no food in the residence.
Jones, who was out on federal probation, was supposed to be in a rehab program. Instead, police say he was back to selling meth. And Sullivan was not just letting him stay there, she was also involved in drug trafficking.
We'd received reports of large amounts of vehicle traffic in and out all hours of the day and the night. And that ultimately, when we found out that he was residing there, that's when I reached out and found out that he had a federal arrest warrant.
Jones is now in federal custody, while Sullivan is being held in Whitley County with a preliminary hearing set for next week. The children are in the care of Child Protective Services. Police say the investigation is ongoing. In Corbin, Caroline Mueller, WYMT Mountain News.
Jones was released in January but violated his probation. ATF, Knox County Sheriff's Department, Whitley County Sheriff's Department, DCBS, and EMS, as well as Williamsburg Police Department, all assisted in that arrest. Human remains found in 2023 have been identified. Officials say the remains were identified as William Cross from Scott County, Tennessee. Scott County Sheriff's deputies say Cross went missing in 2018 after he went for a walk in the woods in McCreary County and was not seen or heard from again. Then in 2023, remains were found by a teenager walking in the woods. Officials say his family has been notified and is asking for privacy. The cause of death has not been released. A Boyle County woman was sentenced to 7 years in prison in Pulaski County. Kaylee Dismuke pleaded guilty to second-degree manslaughter and agreed to waive her sentencing hearing. Dismuke ran into Dino Collins in Pulaski County back in October. That crash led to Collins being taken to a hospital where he was later pronounced dead. A Clay County woman is facing charges after being accused of starting a fire near someone's property. Police received a call about the incident last week. A witness told them that Janelle Hoskins was burning the woods down on Bells Fork Road. The witness told police that Hoskins started multiple fires and had no business being on the property. Police later arrested Hoskins. She was taken to the Clay County Detention Center. 6th District Congressman Andy Barr is hosting a telephone town hall tonight after protests in Lexington. In a statement on Facebook, Congressman Barr says he wants to set the record straight on claims he is unreachable. He says every day he and his staff respond to phone calls, emails, and letters. They also hold monthly office hours. Tonight's telephone town hall will be streamed on Congressman Barr's Facebook page. It starts at 7:30 p.m. and we hope to have more from that tonight at 11. Governor Andy Beshear has vetoed House Bill 398. It would prevent Kentucky's worker safety rules from being more strict than the federal government. There would also be new limits on who can request safety inspections and less incentive for whistleblowers to report dangerous violations. State lawmakers will be back in Frankfort Thursday and Friday to wrap up the legislative session. That's when they can vote to override any vetoes by the governor. Well, the governor signed several bills into law today. Those include House Bill 38 and Senate Bills 120 and 169. House Bill 38 would increase penalties for people who repeatedly violate restraining orders. Senate Bill 120 would require school coaches to report signs of child abuse and neglect. And Senate Bill 169 would allow the subpoena of online and social media records.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Chris Bailey from WKYT, pinch hitting a little bit this week here on WYMT. Absolutely gorgeous conditions across the mountains on your Monday. Temperatures, we could use a little work on that, but let's go to the city of Pikeville, where just a few weeks from now, it is hillbilly days. Can you believe it? It is that time of the year already. Good looking sky that is out there with a radar picture that is dry for the entire region. Somerset, London, all the way back through the Big Sandy Valley, southern parts of West Virginia, Southwest Virginia, East Tennessee, everybody dealing with some of the good stuff. We've got to broaden out the view to find the closest weather maker. Front that made its way through here last evening is now off the southeastern seaboard. It's a clipper dropping its way on in from northwest to southeast. That thing going to be on top of us as we go into the day on Tuesday. It's going to bring a big temperature swing from north to south across the region. Chilly showers will be with us. It's not washout stuff, but we'll have to dodge a raindrop or two over the next few days. We got that in the 7-day forecast here in a matter of minutes.
Chris, thank you. You have 1 week left to enroll in the state's LIHEAP crisis program. Kentucky Community Action Agencies are accepting applications until March 31st, next Monday. The program helps those facing emergencies at home, such as imminent loss of heat or eviction due to unpaid utility bills. Applicants need to have things ready, such as proof of a Social Security number and the most current electric bill. For more information, you can call 800-456-3452. Officials in Floyd County are hoping to lift up the people most impacted by the February flood, promoting different events happening in the county as neighbors work to rebuild. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has the latest.
Floyd County saw significant damage from the February flood, with many homes hit by the heavy waters.
We're going to be pushing 550, maybe 600. We're still trying to get those final numbers that were affected by the flood this time.
Judge Executive Robbie Williams says the county is planning a few different outreaches to help its people get back on their feet, hosting Kentucky Emergency Management Tuesday to discuss the home buyout program.
Now we're familiar with how the program works, the timing, so we're going to be realistic in what we tell folks. But you know, we really are just a flow-through agency. We don't make the decisions. We don't do the work.
Williams says a question and answer event will be conducted at the Mountain Arts Center to help homeowners hit by the flood who are interested in FEMA-funded property buyouts.
It's a voluntary program. You can back out at any time.
He says the county is also working with Apple Red Legal Aid, housing a FEMA appeals clinic in the fiscal courtroom Thursday, helping anyone who received a denial letter strengthen their application for an appeal.
90% of this is very simple. It's just going through the process, finding out exactly what they need, and getting it to FEMA to get that approval.
Williams says these opportunities are all about connecting those in need with the resources to advocate for themselves.
There's a lot of questions that they can answer that we just don't have the answers to. And I think it's important for them to understand the specifics and the timeline involved.
Reminding people they do not have to wade through recovery alone. In Floyd County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
The buyout Q&A will take place tomorrow at the Mountain Arts Center from 6 p.m. until 8 p.m. Apple Red will set up in the old courthouse Thursday from 1 p.m. until 4 p.m. Williams says anyone who could benefit should consider attending. There is another new disaster recovery center open in the mountains. The newest one is at 500 Happy Top Road in Beattyville in Lee County. The hours of operation will be from 9 a.m. until 7 p.m. It will run from today through Friday. We have much more about this at WYMT.com. Hazard High School students continue to work for the community after the February flood devastated parts of their hometown. WYMT's Amelia Lee spoke with a group of students who say all they want to do is make a difference.
Hazard High School students are no strangers to helping out, with many mucking out the day after the February flood hit the region. Now, those with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes look for new ways to serve.
When the flood happened, it hurt me. So first thing what we all did was like, where do we need to be to help?
The original plan was to make supply bags for the homeless. Those were meant to be delivered the day of the flood. So students quickly put flood survivors on their lists of bag recipients.
This is our community, and we can only change it. If it's not where we want it to be right now, we can try to change it.
The VFW in Hazard donated $500 to get the backpacks.
It helped us out a lot to be able to support these people that is in need. Our community's one, so it's just, we're all family, and it just helped us out a lot to be able to help others. And that's what's so good about Hazard.
At least 60 students out of the 300 at Hazard High School are an FCA. Terry Davidson says he felt called to make a difference.
Really, at the get-go, people was bringing stuff left and right. See, our main problem, our first worry was if we wasn't going to have enough stuff. But like just in one day, we had all the stuff for our backpacks.
Garnering support from friends and faculty at school as the students take charge with their own ideas.
These kids really do care about the community. They just have that servant heart.
From muddy boots to bags with supplies, going to people who need them.
Hazard's not a very big community, but we're all real close together, and we just do whatever we can to help each other out.
A tradition of excellence. In Hazard, Amelia Lee, WYMT Mountain News.
The Hazard Police Department is passing out the bags to people who need them. Students say they made 10 bags.